Hey, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, as always, I'd like to start off giving all honor and glory, infinite praise and worship to our power, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RAWCHAA, HAQADASH. Double honors to our apostle, elders, bishops, and great millstone. Peace, citation to the hopeful elect, and the rest of the large multitude of men, women, and children, that the Lord will have mercy on these last days. All right, it's your brother HAQADASH, representing GMS branch here in Cleveland. Lord willing to bring out a quick and edifying lesson through the spirit and power of YAHAWASHI. Yeah, man. You know, war is in the air, right? We can feel it in the air, you know? Hey, man, you know, them war drums is beating, right? Hey, you know, matter of fact, let me start off with that. This is Matthew 24:6, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. You know, and these are wars and rumors of wars. What's the rumor of war? WW3. Right, because it hasn't happened yet. It started, but it hasn't happened until on a catastrophic scale. You know what I'm saying? It haven't happened on a global scale yet. You know what I'm saying? So, it's a rumor that it has begun, or we are leading to that. You know what I'm saying? Because right now it's just proxy wars, smaller wars within wars. You know what I'm saying? It says for nation, but it says the end is not yet, because we still have the MOTB that has to be implemented, right? You have to have civil war that has to be heightened. You know, there's a lot of other things that has to take place, okay, before this war reach a catastrophic 10. And where it reaches American soil, right? Because remember, our Lord is going to come back in the midst of World War III, man. You know, for nation shall rise against nation, verse 7, and kingdom against kingdom, and there should be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. And you see nation rising against nation, man. You know, nation is arising against nation, right? Kingdoms against kingdoms, right? China against America, Iran against Israel, you know, Russia against America, you know, North Korea, you know, China against Taiwan. These are kingdoms against kingdoms, okay? All these are but the beginning of sorrows, okay? All these are the beginning of sorrows. And matter of fact, this is Matthew 24:8 in the NLT. It says, but all this is only the first of the birth pains, with more to come. You see, so it says this is the first of the birth pains to with more to come. So when you understand birth pains, this is what I wanted. You understand that for individuals who have brothers who have children, women who have children, or if you know of how the process go, might have been in that field or so. All right, nurse, doctor, whatever, and you understand, man, that when a woman is pregnant, them pains intensify over a period of time. Okay, it starts, the water breaks, boom. Now in comes the contractions. Okay, the stomach starts to contract. All right, and it leads up to a period of time. It leads up to a period of time where, you know, it gets more intensified and more intensified more intensified the closer that that woman gets to delivering that baby. You know? And them pains increase to the point it's unbearable. You know? And then when it's when it's about to be time for the baby to come, even then, do the pains don't let up. Matter of fact, when the baby's head is starting to show, the doctors tell the woman to what? Push between what they say, push during each contraction. So the contractions might boom, 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 boom. You see it on the monitor, it goes up, and then she like right, and then it's gonna be a period, and you know it might stop. Well, the doctors say the next contraction, push. During the next contraction, push. You know, because it's painful for the baby to come out. You know, so they want you to push on that contraction so that it's easier on the woman. Right, from my understanding, you know, I have a couple. I have children, you know. So, point I'm making is that that's what you see in the world. It says Matthew 24:8, but all this is only the first of the birth pains. What is the things that I just mentioned? Nation rising against nation. This is the first of the birth pains, man. It's gonna get worse from here. You see? How you know that? Because World War III consists of ICBM missiles, intercontinental ballistic missiles, which, like the scriptures say in Zechariah, was it Zechariah what I'm thinking about, Zechariah 14:12, and this should be the plague wherewith Yahawah will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Right. A plague is also a part of those birth pains. But what type of plague? Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. This is an Old Testament prophecy that has yet to be fulfilled or to come to pass. Why? Because we haven't approached that time yet. There are prophecies in the Old Testament that still has to come to pass, man. You know? So it's going to be a dehydration on the bodies of on the Babylonians or the American bodies. Okay, the war is going to be brought to American soil, man. Contrary to popular belief. You see? And if we get one more, I'm gonna play this video because the scriptures say the people think this place will never be touched, but the scriptures say what? In Isaiah 47, it says, "Come down," because right now America is in a lofty place, in a lofty position, to the point that every individual here think they're in good standings. That's just the war in Ukraine, and that's just the war in Iran, blah, 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 right? But you're sadly mistaken. The Lord promised that it will reach American soil. He promised. Why is that included in his promise? Because he promised salvation for his elect. And where is the elect mostly located? In America. Where are all the tribes located? In America. So he's promised salvation unto his elect, his chosen. Therefore, a part of that promise is destruction to Babylon the Great. You see, they work hand in hand. See, Isaiah 47:1. Come down and sit in the dust. Right, you coming down from a lofty position, a higher state. See, that's what the Lord is saying here. come down and sit in the dust. Dust is debris, if you will. Dust is grainy. It's the finer formation of an element. All right, whether it was in a bigger state or so, meaning that it's the smallest it can get. So the Lord is saying, come down from your lofty estate and sit in the dust, sit in the lowest estate, right? Meaning confusion. Because if you were once in a higher state and now you're in a lower state, that is confusion. O virgin daughter of Babylon. Virgin, because why is likening it to a virgin? Because this place has yet to be touched in terms of what? A large scale of war. Let's just put it like that. O virgin daughter of Babylon. Because if I can add, let's go here. Psalms 137. It says, I'm gonna read it in the NLT. It says Psalms 137, starting at verse 7. It says, O Lord, remember what the Edomites did on the day the armies of Babylon captured Jerusalem. Destroy it, they yelled, level it to the ground. Take us from the scripture talking about in Deuteronomy 32, I believe, that the Lord set us in the high places, right? And then it also says in Ezekiel 35, I believe, about how Edom sit in the high places and they say, aha, the ancient high places are ours and our possessions, roughly paraphrasing. So they laugh and mock at us, right? Meaning what? We were once in a higher state and we fell from the higher state into a lower state. We are now in confusion. They hiss and wag their head. Like, is this the nation, right, that they call the perfection of beauty? Right, we're in a confused state. We're sitting in the dust. So this is going to fall upon our enemies. This is going to befall our enemies, right? They said level it to the ground, bring it to a confused state so that they can have their way with us. Verse 8, O daughter, they say, oh Babylon, right? You will be destroyed. Let's read that part in the NLT, in the KJV, Psalms 137:8. Oh, daughter of Babylon. So it's likened the Edomites in the verse above to the daughter of Babylon, who ought to be destroyed. In the NLT, you will be destroyed. Happy is the one who pays you back for what you have done to us. In the NLT. See? This is the results of the Edomites future. You know, this is the result of the Edomites future. So linking the Edomites, the Idumeans, to who? The daughter of Babylon. So we go back to Isaiah 47. We understand that it's talking about the Edomites, Idumeans. It's the Greek way to say Edom. O virgin daughter of Babylon, sit in the ground. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. See? So the Lord is bringing them to a low estate. And that's what we read here in Matthew 24. Okay? The birth pains. This is the beginning of those birth pains. So let me play some of this video.
ساعت 5 صبح. دعوة
However, in Iran, Iranians are saying that their air defense systems across the country are on the saying that their air defense systems across the country are on the highest alert, and they're saying that it's a multi-layer air defense system. So we are talking about the protection particularly being enhanced across and around these strategic facilities, the oil and gas reserves, the strategic depots that are preserved for the war times, and the nuclear facilities. So they have been protected by Russian S-300 and S-400s, then Khordad third systems, and also they are talking about
right, because he said that they're being protected by Russia, like the scriptures say in Ezekiel. (38:7), be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. Right, because it's talking about, let me start at 6, Salakia. Ezekiel 38:6. Gomar and all his bands, right? The house of Togomar and the north quarters and all his bands, and many people with thee. So it's talking about the Russians, all right? And all his bands is all his armies, or his allies, and a part of his allies is Iran. So you have Israel that had just attacked Iran, right? And like we mentioned last night at the live, you have it where a lot of these attacks and a lot of these different things that's happening within this war, Israel is using to justify themselves based off them trying to say that they're the chosen people. You know what I'm saying? Of Yahawah. You know what I'm saying? And that these, because really there's way more to it. I'm not gonna speak on it for the sake of the video, but we understand, man. Hey, like if we would have kept reading Isaiah 47, man, it said uncover the thigh, right? Show the leg. That the Lord is lift up the skirt. The Lord is revealing the secrets, all right, and the lies and the crimes of these Edomites, man. And yes, them small hats are Edomites too. You understand? Them small hats are Edomites too, man. So we understand this. So the Russians are a guard unto Iran and its allies, China, North Korea, India, right? The BRICS nations. So with that being said, like Vladimir Smooky, I mean not Vladimir Smooky, but not Vladimir Spooky, whatever. But you got creepy, sleepy, creepy Joe, man. You know, who's telling, you know, Israel to chill out, man. To chill out. You know why? Because they understand that it will escalate this third war. They understand this. So he's like, yo, chill out, man. Talk to the small hats, because if they continue to do what they're doing, it's going to bring them into the war even more, right? And that's what the prophecy entails. We understand that Israel's not going to back down, right? The article said, it said, matter of fact, I might get that, but when I finish this verse, Ezekiel 38 and 7, be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. So, this is Jeremiah 50 and 45. Therefore, hear ye the counsel of the Lord that have taken against Babylon. So we understand that Babylon is the Edomites, right? We understand which are linking into the small hats, right? And they also are Edomites as well. But here in America, it says, therefore take ye counsel. Therefore, hear ye the counsel of Yahweh that he have taken against Babylon, right? It says, and his purposes, right? So this is the intent of the Lord, right? Because it talks about that, this being the intent of the Lord in Jeremiah 30, right? Coming with pain upon the head of the wicked. This is the Lord's intent. This is his purpose. The whole reason why he raised thee up is to bring you down. It says, and his purposes that he had purposed against the land of Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. It says, at the noise of the king, I'm driving, so bear with me. At the noise of the taking of Babylon, the earth is moved, and the cry is heard among the nations. That's the result of the least of the flock drawing the Babylonians out, right? The fact that the noise is a cry amongst all the nations. Why? Because Babylon is taken up. It says, at the noise of the taking of Babylon, the earth is moved. Why would the earth be moved? Because Babylon is the distributor in all the earth. Like it's linking to Revelations 18 about the nations cry because there's no more the merchants crying because there's no more trade with this place, so they can't wax rich, because the world need America for that reason, because of his stance, of his dominance that is established in the earth from a financial standpoint. The oil, the fatness of the earth, the oil. So there you have it, man. And then if you jump up just to 42 real quick, Jeremiah 50 and 42, let me go back to the video. It says, they shall hold the bow and the lance. They are cruel and will not show mercy. Their voice shall roar like the sea, and they shall ride upon horses. Talking about the missiles. Everyone put in array like a man to the battle against thee, O daughter of Babylon. So the target and the focus is America. And the least of the flock is going to draw them out. Talking about these small hats.
The Iranian-made WW3 air defense system, which are equivalent to the Russian-made S-300s. And on the top of that, Iranians are saying that several dozens and dozens of the aircrafts are now scanning the Iranian airspace, and now the Iranian army is at the highest level of the readiness. If the scale of the Israeli attacks is quite big and huge, then Iranians are saying that they are going to respond to this with the same magnitude.
The Israeli military is indeed confirming that they are carrying out what they describe as precise strikes on military targets inside of Iran, as we are getting these reports of explosions being heard in the Iranian capital of Tehran, and also seeing some quite dramatic images of plumes of smoke over the Iranian capital. Now, we don't know the exact nature of these targets or how many military bases the Israeli military has been striking inside of Iran tonight, but Israeli officials are taking pains to emphasize that these are only military targets, that they are not striking at any energy targets, nuclear or oil facilities, which we know had been considered by the Israeli government earlier in this process. I do expect that we will get a fuller accounting from the Israeli military of the targets that they struck and the number of aircraft potentially that appear to have been involved in this strike. What I can tell you from speaking with Israeli officials is that this decision to carry out these strikes on military targets was the process of weeks of deliberations within the Israeli security cabinet, as well as weeks of consultations between Israeli and U.S. officials. One Israeli official describing this to me tonight as a, quote, very diligent decision-making process. Another Israeli official telling me that they went after targets that, quote, posed a threat or could pose a threat to the state of Israel. Admiral Daniel Hagari, the Israeli military spokesman, in a video statement tonight saying that Israel has the right to defend itself and that it is now prepared for all offensive and defensive scenarios.
The money issue, the fact that sanctions were working in the Trump era, and the fact that the Harris-Biden administration turned a blind eye and allowed them to sell their oil on world markets, they assisted Iran in getting rich again. And now we know what they did with the money. They're supporting Hezbollah, Islamic Jihad, Hamas, the Houthi rebels, and they're buying ballistic missiles that they themselves are firing into Israel. Not a good idea, in my view. Your thoughts?
Yeah, Sean, that's exactly right. October 7th of last year would never have happened if Iran hadn't have funded it, if they hadn't have provided the hardware for it, the weaponry for it. Their terrorist proxies are the ones who carried out that attack on October 7th. Their terrorist proxies are the ones who have been expanding this war against Israel. That's what it is. It's a war against Israel. We need to stand unequivocally with our ally Israel, and it's time that we quit allowing Iran to run wild all over the region. That's what Biden and Harris have done. I mean, we've got to put Iran back in its box. It is a terrorist regime, and right now Israel is, again, it's doing the world's work here. It's doing us a huge favor. It's helping our national security. This really shows why Israel is arguably our most important ally out there. They are standing up to Iran, and they are helping to reverse what Biden and Harris have done over the last few years. It's a dangerous world. It's a dangerous region.
And, for years, these two countries have been fighting through proxies. Now that they are in direct conflict, does that signify a shift?
Absolutely. Like I said earlier, that this is the first time that, Israel has conducted a military operation at this scale on Iranian soil. And so this is a first for the Iranians. Military powers that are engaged in these kind of maneuvers are gaming things out, as they're planning. So when Iran struck on October 1st, in much more intense way than they earlier, that this is the first time that, Israel has conducted a military operation at this scale on Iranian soil. And so
you hear that? It's the first time Israel has conducted a military invasion, if you will, on Iranian soil at this large of a magnitude, man. So that's letting you know that we're at the end. We are definitely at the end. It says of a magnitude scale as such. Why? Because we're at the end. We are at the end as promised. So Lord willing is edifying, like to give all honor, glory, for the praise and worship to our power, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RAWCHAA, HAQADASH, double honor to our apostle, elders, and bishop, great millstone. Peace, citation to the hopeful elect. Till next time, Shalom.